When a road has 3 traffic lanes for the same direction, the rightmost lane should be reserved for passing, and vehicles may use other lanes in accordance with their speed, with slower vehicles traveling in the leftmost lane and faster vehicles traveling in lanes next to the leftmost lane. True, when 3 traffic lanes are provided in one half of the road, the rightmost lane must be reserved for passing, and the leftmost lane should be used by slower vehicles. Lanes are used in accordance with speed from the left toward the right. I sounded my horn when the vehicle emerged suddenly on the road ahead from a narrow side street, as it was necessary to avert an accident. True, you may use your horn if it is absolutely necessary to avoid a dangerous situation, but it is best not to sound your horn if at all possible. When driving on a wet road with worn-out tires, the braking distance increases. True, the road and tire conditions affect a vehicle's braking distance. The pictured signs and marking have the same regulatory effect. False. The left sign indicates the beginning of a no U-turn section, while the right marking indicates the end of such a section. A police officer bringing both arms up level at the sides at an intersection is giving a hand signal identical in meaning to a red light for traffic in lanes parallel to the police officer. False. This hand gesture signifies the same meaning as a red light for traffic facing the police officer and a green light for traffic in lanes parallel to the police officer. When making a right turn at an intersection, automobiles must move as close as possible to the center of the road before entering the intersection and must turn at a reduced speed just inside the center of the intersection. True, correct. Turn right in a way described above. When pedestrians are crossing at or near a crosswalk, you must not impede their passage. True, you must reduce speed, drive slowly, or come to a stop so as not to impede pedestrians crossing safely. You may not protrude into the lane of the oncoming traffic when overtaking in areas where the following sign is posted. True, this is a no overtaking on the right-hand portion of the road for overtaking sign. While it is prohibited to crowd or cut off a regular car bearing an elderly driver mark, it is not prohibited to overtake or pass it. True, it is not prohibited from overtaking or passing the regular car bearing the mark. I came to a halt before the intersection because there was traffic congestion ahead that may have forced me to halt in the intersection. True, the same rule for intersections applies to situations that may force you to halt within no stopping zones, railway crossings, and crosswalks. The towing license is not necessary when towing a disabled vehicle with a gross vehicle weight of 850 kilograms with a rope. True, the towing license is not necessary when towing a vehicle with a gross vehicle weight of 750 kilograms or less and when towing a disabled vehicle with rope, a truck crane or the like. On roads with 3 or more vehicular lanes, slow-moving vehicles should use leftmost and faster vehicles use a lane to the right including rightmost. False. When making a left or right turn, the driver need not continue signaling until the action is complete. False. As a general rule, lanes having the pictured sign are closed to vehicles other than the designated vehicles, light special equipment, mopeds, and light vehicles. True, this is an exclusive lane sign, indicating that this is a lane restricted to route bus. However, slow vehicles, such as light special equipment, mopeds, and light vehicles, are allowed to access the lane. The following sign indicates that there is a push-button type traffic signal ahead. False. This is a warning sign indicating a traffic signal ahead, but is not limited to a push-button type signal. Traffic is not allowed to enter areas in which the following sign is posted. Pedestrians are allowed. True. This is a closed to all vehicles sign and is open to pedestrian traffic. A driver holding a regular car license can operate a truck having a gross vehicle weight under 3.5 tons. True. A truck having a gross vehicle weight under 3.5 tons and a maximum loading capacity under 2 tons is equivalent to a regular car and may be driven by an individual possessing a regular car license. When the traffic signal is flashing red, you should come to a stop and proceed after making sure it is safe. True. When the traffic signal is flashing red, you must always stop temporarily and proceed after making sure it is safe. The following pavement marking indicates a crossroad ahead is a priority road. True. The marking is priority road ahead, signaling that you should yield to vehicles driving on the crossroad ahead. On roads with 3 or more traffic lanes in the same direction, vehicles may choose a traffic lane in accordance with their speed, excluding the rightmost lane, provided that there are no signs designating specific vehicle lanes. True. Vehicles must travel in a lane other than the rightmost lane on roads with 3 or more traffic lanes. When vehicles, etc., stop just in front of a crosswalk, you must always come to a halt before passing the vehicles, etc., on the side and proceeding ahead. True. Since you cannot reliably confirm whether pedestrians are crossing, you should always come to a halt and proceed only after ensuring the way is safe. To overtake, turn on your turn signal and begin to accelerate after 3 seconds while changing lanes gradually. True. When overtaking, you should turn on your turn signal and begin to accelerate after approximately 3 seconds to a speed within the maximum speed limit while changing lanes gradually. You must drive slowly at an intersection with poor visibility, even when you are driving on a priority road. False. You must reduce speed at intersections with poor visibility, but you need not when driving through a controlled intersection and on a priority road. You may overtake with part of the vehicle extending over the center line into the lane of the oncoming traffic, provided that the left side of the road is at least 6 meters wide. False. When the left-hand lane is 6 meters or greater, you may not drive into the lane of the oncoming traffic when overtaking. When passing by a school or kindergarten bus that has stopped to let children on or off, vehicles must stop to ensure safety while watching out for children suddenly dashing into the road. False. Vehicles may proceed in the direction indicated by the yellow arrow signal. False. The designated speed limit on an ordinary road is 60 km per hour for motorcycles, regardless of engine capacity. True. Automobiles including motorcycles must drive at a speed of 60 km per hour on the ordinary road. You may overtake automobiles on the left side when the automobiles have steered to the center of the road in order to make a right turn. True. While overtaking must be done on the right as a rule, overtaking vehicles on the left is permitted when they have moved to the center of the road to make a right turn. When you pass in the vicinity of unattended children and person with a white or yellow cane, you must always slow down. False. You must slow down or stop. Not always slow down. You must begin moving when a traffic light turns green, regardless of the situation beyond the intersection. False. Do not enter an intersection, even when the light changes to green, when you may become stuck in the intersection due to congestion. When given by the police officer as pictured, the two hand signals carry the same meaning for traffic facing the officer. True, these pictured hand signals denote a red light for traffic facing the officer. Only regular cars are permitted to enter the streetcar tracks in areas posted with the following sign. False. This is a driving on tracks permitted sign, indicating that all automobiles may travel on the tracks. The following sign indicates that the road is accessible only by regular passenger cars. False. The sign is motor vehicles only, designating national expressways or roads used exclusively by automobiles, in addition to regular passenger cars. Motorized bicycles with over 125 cc's engine and large-size truck are allowed access. Automobiles may not travel on sidewalks or side strips, but may use these paths when crossing them to enter or exit from roadside locations. True, automobiles may travel on sidewalks or side strips, when crossing them to enter or exit from roadside locations. The following sign means that automobiles and motorized bicycles may not use the road. True. When passing a crosswalk or bicycle crossing, you must always slow down even if the road is clear of pedestrians or bicycles. False. The following sign indicates that the road ahead is closed to all cargoes. False. This is a closed to large-size trucks sign, indicating that the road is closed to large cargo, etc., but is open to regular cargo. On roads with 3 or more vehicular lanes, slow-moving vehicles should use leftmost and faster vehicles use a lane to the right, including rightmost. False. When driving alongside a safety zone, you must drive slowly, even when pedestrians are not present. False. You must drive slowly on steep uphill and downhill. False. While you must drive slowly when approaching the top of an uphill and when driving on a steep downhill, you need not slow down when driving up a steep uphill. On roads where center line is provided, you must drive on the left side of the center line, but as close as possible to the center line. False. You must proceed on the far left side of the center line. The pictured sign indicates that vehicles may not proceed if the width of the vehicle, including any load, exceeds 2.2 meters. True, the number in the sign represents the maximum width of vehicles that may proceed. The following sign indicates a cycling road or road for the exclusive use by bicycles. False. This is a bicycle crossing zone sign. When a bus that was stopped at a bus stop signaled that it is moving away from the bus stop with its blinker, you must always stop and let the bus start ahead. False. You must not block its progress. However, if it is dangerous, which require them to brake or swerve suddenly, you may proceed, not must always stop. Overtaking automobiles or motorized bicycles is prohibited in and within 30 meters before a crosswalk or bicycle crossing zone, but passing is allowed. False. Both overtaking and passing are prohibited in these areas because the maneuverings pose danger to pedestrians and bicyclists. When an emergency vehicle approaches, vehicles in an intersection must immediately pull over to the left and reduce speed. False. In this example, vehicles should pull over to the left side of the road after passing through the intersection and stop momentarily. You need not slow down or come to a stop when it is clear that a pedestrian or bicyclist does not intend to cross in the crosswalk or bicycle crossing zone. True, you may proceed normally when there is clearly no pedestrian or bicyclist attempting to cross. When you notice an emergency vehicle approaching from the rear in an intersection, you must immediately come to a halt on the spot. False. If the emergency vehicle approaches from the rear in the intersection, you must first pass through the intersection before pulling over to the left-hand side and coming to a momentary halt. The designated maximum speed limit for automobiles and motorized bicycles is 30 km per hour on a road posted with the following sign. True, these vehicles must not drive faster than 30 km per hour on the road posted with the following sign. When approaching a crosswalk, you must proceed at a speed that allows you to stop if needed before the crosswalk, except when the road is apparently clear of pedestrian or bicycles. True. The following traffic sign indicates no parking. False. This is a closed to all vehicles sign, indicating that automobiles, motorized bicycles and light vehicles must not enter the road posted with the sign. Overtaking is prohibited on a steep downhill, but passing is allowed. True, on a steep downhill slope, overtaking is prohibited, but passing is not. Vehicles may not enter the road with a priority lane for route buses. False.